The time is now turn 3. We've played a mountain, and I do believe we can cast this Drakuseth, which we're going to do, and then we're going to put a Lightning Greaves on it, and then we're going to start attacking. We'll start with the Isshin deck.
Today on Commander Replay, we check out Drakuseth Flameroasted and see if we can sneak through our opponent's interaction. Next on Commander Replay. Hey guys, there's 2 great ways to support the channel. All links are in the description below.
Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Drakuseth Maw of Flames today. Take a look at this opener. 2 lands, Soul Ring, some card draw, some ramp. I think we can make this work. Let's keep. If I sound a little funny today, it's because I had 3 margaritas before this game. And I haven't been drinking much, so I'm definitely feeling it. Hopefully that leads to some fun and entertaining moments. We won the die roll, so we go first. Play a mountain. There's another land off the top. That is good news. Play the Soul Ring. Play the Lightning Greaves. Yeah, we had a pretty good turn 1. Pretty good turn 1. Pass like that. Brings it to our turn 2. There's a mountain. There's a Sisay's Ring. Oh my. Let's go for that first. Wow, we're going to be on a very fast Drakuseth. Get the Illusionist Bracers. Today's deck list, by the way, comes to us from Patreon supporter DJ. And he calls this deck Drakuseth Flameroasted for the obvious reasons of what Drakuseth does. And I'm pretty excited about it. It looks pretty tight. Has a ton of mana ramp in it, which is definitely what you'd expect, because Drakuseth does cost 7 mana. You know, the name of the game is really just getting Drakuseth in play, so you do want a high mana count, and this deck definitely has that. Illusionist Bracers are interesting just because they don't directly synergize with the commander. These care about activated abilities, and Drakuseth is a triggered ability. Let's take a read of Drakuseth. It's 7 mana for a 7/7 flying. When it attacks, deals 4 damage to any target and 3 damage to each of up to 2 other targets. It's a lot of damage. It just does a lot of damage. It kills a lot of things. Makes it really hard to have like small and medium creatures in play with the Drakuseth running around. And it's the type of thing that just like needs to eat removal because it's that nasty. The time is now turn 3. We've played a mountain, and I do believe we can cast this Drakuseth, which we're going to do, and then we're going to put a Lightning Greaves on it, and then we're going to start attacking. We'll start with the Isshin deck, and we'll blast the other opponents in the face. Soul Ring is OP, is the name of this game. I get that they probably won't ever do anything about Soul Ring in the format because it's printed in all the Commander products, but like, Mana Crypt definitely raises some questions, because games like this happen. And I don't know that we're going to win if opponents find some removal. I mean, it's going to take them 2 pieces or a board wipe right now, and they're probably still a little ways away from that. But still, just getting out to this kind of start is just like, it's not fun. It's not fun to be the other players at the table when someone has a turn 3 Drakuseth with haste, right? There's a Demonic Tutor. Have to wonder if that is a Toxic Deluge. Or a Damnation. Damnation if they have another land. Deluge if they don't. That'd be my guess. Brings back to our turn. There's a mountain. Play the mountain. Let's swing into fish this time. Ooh, opponent's got plans. They're going to cast a Farika's Libation and force us to sacrifice a creature. That's a pretty good idea. We're in our begin combat step, so we won't be able to recast it this turn. It's a nice play from opponent. Back to the command zone. In the sense of, like, I am kind of happy about that in the sense of, like, I didn't want to have a non-game with our opponents where they have no removal and just aren't able to answer the turn 3 Drakuseth, so I think we can at least have an interesting game now, and I'm fine with that, so. Anyway, we'll follow it up with even more mana ramp with this Hedron Archive, then play Humble Defector, then put the Illusionist Bracers on Humble Defector, and then put Lightning Greaves on Humble Defector, and we should be able to get some card draw real soon. Real soon. We'll wait till an end step to do this. Actually, double check this. Oh, it's only during your turn. It's only during your turn. Oh, God. Oh, did I get it in time? I hope I got it in time. No, I didn't get it in time. That's disappointing. Well, hopefully it's still here when our turn comes back. That's all we can hope on. That's a Jace the Mind Sculptor. Protected with the boots, so they'll probably just go like Brainstorm or something. Indeed, Brainstorm. There's a great video. So people weren't sure what to make of Jace the Mind Sculptor like right when it came out. And there's a great video of Patrick Chapin talking about it. He was basically like, if you don't need to brainstorm and you don't need to bounce a creature, you can Fate Seal someone, which means your life isn't getting any better. Like, things are going to be pretty miserable for you when Jace comes down. And it was kind of interesting at the time that people didn't recognize that this card is insane. There's a Mana Crypt for opponent. That can get them going. Get them into some interesting plays. Oh no! Oh, opponent's blowing up so much of our stuff. They left the bracers, though. Yeah, we're going to feel that a bit. It's going to be a while before we recast Drakuseth. Ouch. They could have technically waited because this is an instant. I don't know exactly how long you want to wait just because of our thing, but that is the thing that they could have done. I've done that a few times with Heliod's Intervention where I kind of forget that it's an instant. Feels like it's a sorcery in terms of its power level, but it is indeed an instant. Commander Sphere for opponent. All right, feeling pretty good that we're going to get to untap with the Humble Defector. We're going to be in a real bad spot if we don't. There's a Forgotten Cave. I don't know what we're doing with that yet. Let's activate the Humble Defector. I think D-Manny. We'll give him the Humble Defector. Illusionist Bracers will trigger, so we copy the ability. And we'll go same targets. Another land, a Brass's Bounty, is not the best. Land Thran Dynamo is not what we were looking to end up with all of this. So play a Mountain, play Thran Dynamo. Ooh. One thing to think about is that with Jace in play, Jace can just continuously bounce our commander if it doesn't have haste. That's not a great spot for us to be with the boots going down. Cycle this Forgotten Cave. There's an Anger. Anger is a way to get haste. Question is, how do we get it into our graveyard? I'm pretty sure if they activate the Humble Defector, the Illusionist Bracers copies will still allow us to draw. Rhystic Study for opponent. Ooh, opponent's going to Fate Seal us. That's not great. Fate Sealing is stronger than you think it would be. When you think about the fact that, like, 50% of your deck is probably mana production, and this deck it's probably even higher than that. It's probably like 55. That makes it really easy to Fate Seal away cards that matter and put us into, like, more lands. It's not a great spot to be. Mana Crypt flip. D-Manny says this is his newest version of Sedris. You could definitely feel the margarita coming out right there. For the most part, his Sedris deck has been fairly tame. Gray Merchant is the thing that really kills you. But every once in a while, he finds some magic with it. He said it's his newer version, so if he's done some work on it, maybe it's got a little more pop to it than it has had in the past. We'll see. We'll see. There's an Emberwild Captain for opponent that will make them the Monarch, and whenever they get attacked, you lose life equal to the number of cards in your hand, which is pretty interesting. Oh, does that get doubled up with Isshin in play? I think it does. I bet it does. Opponent activates the Humble Defector. We're going to find out about that Illusionist Bracers thing. Boy, would I love to see 2 more cards right now. We go same targets on the trigger. Oh no, he gets them? Oh, that's disappointing. That is disappointing. He goes up to 7 cards. That's a thing. I hope he doesn't follow with a board wipe because I really want to draw 4 cards ourselves because we didn't really find what we needed right here. Brings it back to our turn. We untap with it. Let's activate it. Who's getting it this time? I really don't want to give it to Fish. Giving it to the blue deck doesn't seem like a good idea. We'll give it to the Isshin. Same targets. Boots in a land. We are flooding. That's a Vendilion click. I mean, our hand isn't that great, honestly. It'll probably be the boots, and I like the boots, but meh. Yep, Vendilion click our way. Behold all of our lands. I'm glad that we have 2 sources of haste. Who'll they get rid of? Oh, the Brass's Bounty. I mean, we have a lot of mana. Don't really have anything to do with the mana. Mass Hysteria, more haste, and a Dreamstone Hedron. Fun stuff. Let's play a Mountain. Let's get a Dreamstone Hedron. We paying for this Rhystic Study? We have 6 mana. I guess we're not going to pay. Which probably isn't the best idea, but it's where we're at. Let's cast Anger into the Rhystic Study. Oh, man, maybe we should pay. Yeah, let's pay. I don't feel like feeding Fish into oblivion. I was going to cast the boots, though. Maybe someone else will deal with the study, and that would be nice. Pay the 1. What I like about this is we can send this into the Jace, and they'll probably just lose the loyalty on Jace. But if they block, this will end up in our graveyard, and that is haste that's fairly difficult to interact with. Swing into Jace. What I also like is that if they don't cast a creature, then it'll just happen again next turn. They're going to block. Anger going to the graveyard. Love it. Love it. Trade with the click. Pass like that. Brainstorm. Mox Amber. Fish sitting on a whole bunch of open mana. I don't love. Opponents can activate that Humble Defector, giving it back to us. Love it. Same targets. I haven't played that much Humble Defector in my life. At the time when it came out, it was probably one of your better card draw options in red. Now there are other things that I would go to first. I'm a big fan of Ignite the Future. I mean, really, the equipment's too, like Skull Clamp, Mask of Memory. I'm still all about that stuff. But we've been getting some work done with it this game, just that we haven't really been drawing the way that we want to. But we are many cards ahead of our opponent. We're on 77, and they're at 83, 82, and 85 in their library. Isshin, Two Heavens is 1 into the Rhystic Study. Opponent pays, love it. Showing a little discipline. Fervent Charge is a very serious card with Isshin. One that will potentially draw whatever interaction Fish is holding up, because that's going to be some damage. 8-6 over to the Jace. Let's see if Fish responds. Run away together. Choose 2 target creatures controlled by different players. Return those creatures to their owner's hand. Not the best, but we still have Anger in the graveyard, so we can recast it with haste. I am happy to get that piece of interaction out of the way. Fish was definitely holding something up. She still has a bunch of open mana, though, so there could be more. Both creatures getting bounced. D-Manny with the Winds of Rebuke. Bouncing the Rhystic Study. I can appreciate that. Each player is going to mill 2. It gets bounced. This is tricky, because if we just recast Drakuseth, Fish is still sitting on a bunch of mana, which I don't love. There's a lot of ways for that to go wrong. Well, I guess D-Manny still got his turn, so... Fell Stinger. Exploit. When it exploits a creature, target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. Oh yeah, seems decent in that deck. Yeah, they're going to draw more cards. Lose 2 life. Dockside Extortionist. Ugh. It's going to be a few. Oh, nice. Fish is going to counter that with a foil. That is the other free counter spell.
Baby! The other white meat!
Fish sitting on 2 blue. Still enough for a counter spell, but they've now burnt 2 cards. We know one of them in their hand is a Rhystic Study. Anything else revealed? No. Could theoretically be running low on interaction, but it's a blue deck, so maybe not. Never really know. Cathartic Reunion. Decent pickup, actually. So we discard 2 to draw 3. We're going to pitch some lands. Discard 2 lands. Sulfuric Vortex. Yeah. Love it. Nice. Oh, play a mountain. I think we try the Drakuseth right here. And worst case scenario, even if this fails, we just cast Humble Defector and try the Humble Defector. Yep, there's a counterspell. Yeah, we played into it. Well, we'll try it again next turn. Back to the command zone. Cast the Humble Defector. And we'll draw 2 more. D-Manny can have it this time. There's a Generator Servant. Up to 8 cards in hand. Discard a land. See if we can get through all that interaction from Fish. I assume she tries to recast that Rhystic Study, which should burn some mana. That's a recurring insight. That is a reason to gang up on Fish. Up to 11 cards in hand. Will be more next turn. Bounces the Isshin. Yep. Now, sadly, not much of a threat in play against the Jace. Fish on 3 open mana. Probably has interaction at 10 cards. The Rhystic Study coming back. I think this is good in a way because Fish is now tapped out. There are still a lot of free cards in blue that are a nightmare for us. Snap, Force of Negation could be a thing. Not necessarily against Drakuseth, but just against other plays. So, probably a few too many free spells in blue, to be honest with you. Force of Will. So we're not out of the woods yet, but there is some chance we might be able to get a Drakuseth into play and taking down the Jace and putting a hurting on Fish. Adeline, Resplendent Cathar into the study. Opponent pays. Tectonic Giant into the study, leaving 1 up. Pays. Reanimate for opponent. What are they getting? Oh, Dockside. Ew. D-Manny probably about to have a big turn. Dockside is the other one that can beat you. Looks like 8 treasures, I think. 9. They can get a lot done with that. Gravebreaker Lamia is not great. If he has a combo, this is how you get it. Brings it back to our turn. That's a mountain. Play the mountain. What did opponent get in their graveyard? They got Echo of Eons. Ugh. Got a wheel coming next turn. Yeah, let's try this Drakuseth. Into the Rhystic Study. We have 3 mana left. Don't love it. Don't love any of it. Not paying. Probably should have Chaos Warped the study first. I guess we'll wait on the Chaos Warp. Just because we don't know what's coming. Go to combat. This is at 4. Swing into Fish. Do 4 to the Jace. I don't know if putting Dockside in the graveyard is better or worse. I feel like, because if we put it in the graveyard, they cast Sedris and then they just encore it, or whatever Sedris is, unearth it. I think we just go to the face. Jace goes down. Fish takes the hit, goes to 26, 7 commander. We'll pass like that. We're going to leave up a Chaos Warp. I'm not going to activate this Humble Defector because I think D-Manny's just going to cast a wheel, and there's no reason to give it away. Now, we are soft to a board wipe if that happens. We won't be able to activate it in time, and that kind of sucks, but yeah, I'm playing around the wheel. It's the choice I decided to go with. Yeah, Fish are going to draw 7 more. That's not great. 18 cards in hand. I have to imagine something that looks like a win condition is in those 18 cards. And then the problem becomes that if we don't handle Fish, then Dockside Extortionist, I'm sure, is going to be a problem. And if not, Adeline, Tectonic Giant, and Fervent Charge are also really serious cards out of the Isshin deck. So I'm really tempted to Chaos Warp that Reliquary Tower. I guess if D-Manny's going to wheel, though, that'll reset the hand count. Oh, you want to know what's bad? Anger is going to get shuffled out of our graveyard, and we didn't get another haste source into play. I don't know if we'll find one in the shuffle wheel, but Fish passes with all the mana up. That smells like a Cyclonic Rift. Isshin back to play. That's a Cryptic command. Bouncing our commander, and going to tap all of opponent's stuff. Okay. At least it's not a Rift. Still pretty nasty, though. Buys Fish a lot of time. Just a lot of time. Orzhov Signet. Study. Yeah, that tempo is going to hurt us quite a bit. Recasting Drakuseth is kind of a pain. And I have a feeling, like, if we get wheeled, it's going to be even worse. Now, if you're setting this up for a later turn, maybe we'll be alright, but Skull Clamp in. Pays. Skull Clamp onto the Tectonic Giant. This is really where you want, like, a Debolt's Trickery, because one Debolt's Trickery could completely mess Fish up. Fish doesn't have much of a board state. All the threats are in her hand. Just a lot of interaction. D-Manny going over to Fish with the Lamia. Love it. We're still at 40. It's turn 8. Even though Drakuseth is incredibly threatening, the fact that we haven't been able to keep it in play means that we haven't really been the threat. Fish down to 22. Yeah, there's the Echo of Eons. There's the Rhystic Study. Let's see if they pay. Actually, it wouldn't really even matter if they did, other than Fish drawing a counterspell. We're going to Chaos Warp that Rhystic Study. Not paying. It resolves. Fish gets an Arcane Signet off of it. Not too bad. I will certainly take that. Frantic Search. Looking for the counterspell. And there's the Force of Will. So the wheel not going to happen. Oh, D-Manny's got something. He's going to Mystic Confluence. Trying to force through the Echo of Eons. I feel medium about wheeling our hand. There are decent cards in our hand, but not exactly the things that just get us there either. So I don't really know how to feel about it. That's a Reality Shift on Dockside Extortionist. That's actually a great play. That'll keep D-Manny from just winning the game with Dockside and recurring it with Sedris. So I like that play. We do stand to get a lot worse. If we catch a lot of lands and ramp, which there are a lot of in this deck, then, you know, that may not be the best. But if we do find something with some gas in it, that could be an upgrade. It just depends. We got a Leyline Tyrant is fine. Ramp. Protection Unblockable is decent. Manifold Key is reasonable. It could be worse. We still have the Humble Defector, so we can get some draw going that way. We do lose all of our haste, which isn't the best. Ideally, we would have gotten the Swiftfoot Boots in before the wheel happened, but I wanted to leave up that Chaos Warp, and yeah, that's just the problem with trying to, like, cast and recast a 7-mana commander. It just eats up a lot of your mana. Felstinger coming back. Yep. Commander's Fear. Strionic Resonator is an interesting Magic card. Vendilion Click is back. Whose hand do they go after? Like, she could go after ours, but this hand isn't crazy. Going after ours, of course. Resonator is probably the choice. Goes for the Leyline Tyrant. It's interesting. We catch Sisei's Ring. That brings it to our main phase. Play the Mountain, play the Sisei's Ring, equip the Bracers, activate this thing, we'll give it to the Isshin deck. Same targets. Blood Moon, what does that do? Not that much. It shuts off the 2 players we don't really want it to shut off. How do I feel about that? Dictate of the Twin Gods is a funny card. There's also a Lightning Greaves. That is some haste. Do we already play a mountain? We already played a mountain. How much is Drakuseth? We have 10 mana currently. I think it's on 11. It is on 13. Gross. Meaning we'll want to go Manifold Key. Actually, let's double check after Manifold Key, because that will be mana positive with 3 mana rocks. 8 there. That's 11. No, still a little short. Still, we can get a lot of cards out of our hand, and that seems like it should be a good idea, so let's do that. Cast with multi-kicker. We'll kick it 3 times. That'll cost us 6. Yeah, let's get the Blood Moon in. I don't know that opponents will love it, but it slows things down a little. Hopefully they don't just, like, come and kill us, because we're actually not that well prepared for that. Cast the Mannequin, the Greaves, equip the Greaves, tap this thing. We can cast Resonator or Fire Diamond. I'm going to go Resonator. Part of me is like, don't show the Resonator, or the other part of me is just like, our commander is so mana intense that we need to get this into play. We did a really good job of getting cards out of our hand this turn. I didn't see what we were up to. We were probably up to like 10 or 11 and got down to 4. So we cast a lot of things. If we can untap with that momentum, we're probably in a pretty good spot for next turn. But there's a lot of aggro out here with this Isshin deck. So, you know, if they don't like our Blood Moon, they could just come kill us. Oh, one thing to think about too. Well, I guess Fish is down to 6 cards, but this becomes a mountain. So Fish does have a max hand size once again. Teferi into play. Yep, this won't cause any problems. Untapping the mana rocks. Temporal Mastery. There comes the extra turn. Yep, just throwing this out there. What if we banned extra turns? They're pretty unfair. I would not be surprised if Fish just finds a way to win on her second turn here. Gonna poke for 3 into the Isshin deck. The good news, though, is that the extra turn may not get us attacked by the Isshin, and that would be fantastic. I wish we had the mana for it. We didn't because of what we did this turn, but if we did, to flash in the Dictate, assuming that one of our 2 opponents attacks Fish, that would be a fun play. Fish takes the Monarch. Fish only has 1 mana up, though. Yeah, going to the end step. So, Isshin's... No, this is just going to our second turn. Okay, yep. I'm on board now. Teferi's Ageless Insight, double up the card draw. Thought Vessel. Scry 2, draw a card. Yep. If we could get our commander with haste and the Dictate, Fish would actually be dead to commander damage. But a lot of it's going to depend on what happens with this Isshin attack coming up. Fish is going to untap 4 permanents. Yeah, Teferi just kind of makes infinite mana. No big deal. That's what's frustrating about that deck, is it just like, it shows you how broken mana rocks are. Mana is no object. That's an Ugin. We've got mostly artifacts, so Ugin only hits one of our cards, which is Blood Moon. Now, I'm sure Fish wants to clean out this Isshin player. This may actually work out. Doesn't do anything with it, goes to combat. Gonna swing over to the Isshin. Yeah, worried about what Isshin has on board, but they can wipe pretty hard. Looks like it would be X4, maybe 5 to get the Lamia. Yeah, it looks like Lamia is the biggest thing. They would lose their Ageless Insight with that, though. But that might be a price you have to pay with Adeline, Tectonic Giant, Isshin. Yeah, there comes the minus. Was it? Yeah, X5. X5. I think we're in a pretty good spot to take Fish down. Dictate, Commander, Boots. Fish will die to commander damage. The other 2 will take a bunch to the face. Seems reasonable. Unfortunately, our Humble Defector got exiled in all of that. We did quite a bit with the Humble Defector this game. Now, we fed our opponents a little bit in the process, so not exactly sure how to feel about it, but it drew us some cards. Oh no, that's a Ruinous Ultimatum. We probably can't win now. When a Ruinous Ultimatum goes off, you lose. Unless... Oh, please counter this. Please, he's going to draw a card. Yeah, we probably can't win if this goes off. It does indeed go off. We are down to 9 lands. Our commander's on 13. Yep, this is a really bad spot to be. That card. That card's too strong, honestly. It's one of those cards that it does win you the game. Now, from this position, they're not in the best spot. If they had, like, even a single creature out, they'd probably be in a better place, but... let's see if they can find one right here. That's Marchesa's Decree. They become the Monarch again. This is a bad spot. This is a bad spot for us. We really spent a turn tapping out for the mana rocks, and we just got crushed. It was a big setup turn, and the setup was all destroyed. I mean, this thing is like, dare I compare it to Cyclonic Rift? Cyclonic Rift only bounces this stuff. It's annoying because it's an instant. Ruinous Ultimatum destroys it, so it ain't coming back. D-Man's gonna shenanigans the Skull Clamp. That's a good idea. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a player cast a Ruinous Ultimatum and lose a game. Just It doesn't happen. You blow up too many things, your opponents lose too much. Feed the Swarm on Marchesa's Decree. D-Manny just emptying all the removal. At least it's not on us. All we have is lands. We once again need to find more haste. There seems to be a lot of them in the deck, so hopefully we can find something, but we could also use card draw, ramp, really just about anything. We just need more cards at this point, given how many we lost. Seething Song is fine. Play Mountain. Play the Fire Diamond. That's 8. Play the Whisper Silk Cloak. I think we'll flash in the Dictate at the end step, and then Seething Song for Drakuseth on our next turn. Then put the Whisper Silk Cloak on it. And then hope we can untap with it. Trinket Mage. Teferi's back. Untaps 4 permanents. Yeah, Mana Vault being one of them. Yeah, just the mana production. So busted. Echo of Eons. That probably helps. Let's Seething Song just in case. Oh, didn't catch it in time. What do we got? We got a lot of lands. That's not the best. We do have one source of haste. We have a Strionic Resonator. Came back. Maybe we can make it work. Actually, I don't think we have enough mana for our commander yet, so... that's not great. Wizard class. Brutal game with the interaction. Kind of wish I put that first attack on fish. Theoretically, should be at 14 commander. So, what's interesting to think about is that a deck like this, what it really wants is mass discard. Like, what you don't want is your opponents having a lot of interaction. If your opponents have a lot of cards in hand, they probably have a lot of interaction. I know there isn't really discard in red. There might be a few weird colorless things here or there, but, like, the key with this deck is, like, running your opponents out of cards. So that you can actually keep Drakuseth in play, and then also not dying to the reward state. And with the wheels that keep going off this game, everyone's just been full of cards all game, so we're just literally never going to get to keep Drakuseth in. Vicious Conquistador. Oh, I should have flashed in the Dictate. Oh, I'm an idiot. That sucks. I was F6'd while the thing went off. It's pretty annoying. Audacious Thief is really good in that deck. Enlightened Tutor. The problem with Dictate, though, is that it could also just get us killed, since we don't have, like, the follow-up play. It's the type of thing you don't want to lay down until Drakuseth is in and ready to go. Opponent gets a Sword of the Animist. Monarch trigger. That's a Jin-Gitaxias. What does this one do? Whenever you cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, copy it. Choose new targets. Whenever an opponent casts an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, counter it. Gross. Only once each turn. Jesus. Soul... Oh my god. Well, D-Manny just became the threat. That's a Gyruda. At this point, I don't know whether I want cards in the graveyard or not. What'd we lose? Greaves is one that we wanted. Ironcrag Feet is decent. Bolt Bend would be helpful. Wild Ricochet would also be very helpful for everything that's been going on. Yeah, we lost a few things I probably wanted there. We'd be drawing them one at a time, and I don't know if that's the best, but... a little bit of interaction with Bolt Bend and Wild Ricochet would have been nice. That's a Soul Ring for us. At least that gives us another artifact to cast. Play the Landscape. Play the Lens. Watch it get countered. Play Soul Ring. Resonator. Bloodlust Insider. Cloak on the Insider. And that's everything we got. Fish still has the wheel in our graveyard. I would not be sad to see another wheel. We have only lands left, so... pass like that. The last one didn't get us where we wanted to go. Actually, D-Manny whiffed with the Gyruda. I'm sure that was disappointing for him. Discarded a Blasphemous Act. Mystic Sanctuary, disgusting. Although, I don't know if she's going to wheel or not. Puts the wheel back on top. Do we have a way to get it? Could plus with Teferi. I mean, unless she wants to keep doing it, which is sort of reasonable. Mind Stone? Yeah, you could crack the Mind Stone and do it. Jin-Gitaxias is going to counter that. Spectral Deluge. Return each creature your opponents control with toughness X or less, where X is the number of islands you control. Lovely. Oh, come on, be a counterspell. Kitty is going to Anguished Unmaking the Teferi. I can get down with that. D-Manny is going to Consider, and that'll get copied. Potentially digging for the counterspell. There's a Frantic Search. I didn't see who cast it. Probably Fish. Yep. Creatures get bounced. Annoying. Isshin really seeing the need for haste, I think. There's the wheel. I actually like this because our hand is not that great. There's a Hammer Perforos, more haste. Ironcrag Feet, yeah. Bauble. That also gets rid of the Jin-Gitaxias, which I like. Opponent's gonna bauble us, yep. Getting busy with the Trinket Mage. Over to Isshin, who just keeps taking the punches, down to 12. Barely done anything all game. They've just been tangled up in Fish's removal. That does happen with aggro decks sometimes, and it's not a great feeling. One of the things I'm thinking about right now is that a card like Crackle with Power is probably something you want to add to this deck. Because of how much mana this deck generates, you want to have a backup win condition other than Drakuseth, just because people shoot Drakuseth a lot. So Crackle with Power is a really good idea. Potentially, if we had one, we could theoretically win the game from here. I haven't done all the math, but, you know, that's the type of card that it is, assuming that, you know, if we had even a couple mana rocks from earlier, if we untap on that big turn, easy win with Crackle. And I know it's not exactly what you're going for, but sometimes you just need, like, some sort of backup for games that go like this. Crypt and Bauble. Yep. Opponent's going to want to win that flip. They do. The margaritas are wearing off, and I'm starting to feel kind of sleepy, so hopefully this game will wrap up soon. And even better if we're the winner when it happens. Oh, nothing like coming down. There's a Bruce Tarl for opponent. Opponent still searching for the haste. Yep. There's a Mardu Ascendancy. Nice card. Doesn't give haste, though. Pulse Tracker. Ooh, there's a Hainware Battlements. That gives haste. There's the haste. Haste on the Bruce Tarl. I have to imagine this is going to Fish. Yep. Mardu Ascendancy, Bruce Tarl trigger on itself. There's a little shot for 4 over to Fish. Would have been nicer with that Dictate in. Oops. Fish down to 17. Down to 13. I don't know if we should start counting up our mana. We have 14 mana. This will give us +3, which puts us at 17. Which is enough to go Drakuseth, Ironcrag, Hammer. I think if we play a land, maybe if we play the Manifold Key, I think we can also get the Strionic Resonator trigger. Jingataxis is back. It's not ideal. I thought we got rid of that. Come on, Fish. Please counter this. Nope, that's just going to resolve. Hedron Archive, doubled. Yep. Archon of Cruelty. Ugh. They're going to force Isshin to discard. Isshin did go up to 16 life off the Bruce Tarl attack, which is, you know, they were bleeding life, so that's definitely a good thing for them. Kind of get back. And they're going to sacrifice a token. Not too much lost in that, but they discard as well. Opponent's going to Raven form our Whisper Silk Cloak. That's pretty annoying. That goes into exile. Archon of Cruelty does present us a problem. There's the Sulphurous Vortex again. Let's play this land. Let's check on our mana. That's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Plus 3 is 18. What's this? This is going to be 13. That's going to be... The hammer will be 3. So it'd be 13. That's 16. We would then need to spend 2 on Mind Stone. Manifold Key is mana neutral, so we'll probably want to get that in too. Okay, here we go. Mind Stone eats the counter. Hammer, Manifold Key, untap the Soul Ring, play Ironcrag Feet, cast our Commander. With haste, opponents are mostly tapped out. Go to combat, swing into Fish. We'll go 4 to D-Manny's face, shoot the Trinket Mage, and shoot Fish in the face. Fish is down to 3, on the 1 yard line. 3 yard line, I guess. Man, if we get the Sulphurous Vortex in, would finish the job in 2 turns. Also, that would slow down the life gain, or stop the life gain from Bruce. This synergy spot, Fish really needs a board wipe. And she's going to need another spell to trigger the Jingataxis counter first. Because of, like, Pulse Mage, Bruce Tarl, possibility of Isshin coming back to play. Like, yeah, you just got to wipe the board here. Nope, going down to 2 with the Mana Vault. Now she's down there. 1 turn on the Sulphurous Vortex. Cold Steel Heart into the counter from Jingataxis. Levels up the Wizard class, draws 2 cards. Teferi, Master of Time. Oh, God. What does this one do again? I remember I played it in a game once, and it was just absolutely wild. Phase a creature out. We doing that? No, gonna draw and discard. I guess they can do the phase out on each of their turns, but... You know, I don't think I'd be that sad if Drakuseth got phased out, because that would actually keep it protected until our turn. So, like, Archon and stuff wouldn't be able to get it. A generous gift on the Jingataxis, that's a great idea from opponent. Archon of Cruelty still looming, though. Isshin coming back. Opponent's got a Drakuseth of their own. Well, that's terrifying. This will probably get some people out of the game. We are, well, I want to say that we're mostly safe against it, but the issue becomes that, oh god, opponent can gain so much life. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to be a turn late on this Sulphurous Vortex. Ugh. The problem is they can shoot this token, and then they could leave the Archon of Cruelty to clean up our Drakuseth. Yep, they're going to give it haste. And if they put lifelink on it, their life total is going to get wild. Oh, opponent's going to phase it out. Nice. Nice. Yep, it's pretty nasty. Probably a good thing. It's tough to say. Yeah, I think we come out worse for that. Because of the Archon of Cruelty. No Archon, and then we're fine, because we probably still untap with Drakuseth, which is the most important thing. Opponent going to send 2 our way, yeah. Oh, God. It's going to trigger Mardu Ascendancy 4 times, Bruce Tarl twice, and Pulse Tracker twice. The 2 Pulse Trackers should kill Fish. Fish goes down. Finally, someone getting out of this game. Turn 13. All of the interaction this game. And we're going to take a decent-sized hit here. We go down to 26. Opponent goes back to 18, so we're kind of in line with our other opponents now. We were just around 40 a second ago, and I was feeling pretty comfortable at 40. No one really had like the stuff on board to take us down from 40, but from 26 with what's on board, that can definitely happen. Let's see what D-Man he's got. He's got a ton of mana. Can get some card draw if he needs it. Graveyard isn't that promising for him, just the Jin-Gitaxias, which is fine, but I guess with the you wouldn't unearth that per se. You might reanimate it, but do we get to untap with this Drakuseth? Port of Carfel. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Well, Jin-Gitaxias is coming back. That's how you do it. Uh-oh, there's an Archaeomancer in there now. They go Archaeomancer, reanimate Jin-Gitaxias. That's the thing you could do. Nope, they just go straight for the Jin-Gitaxias. This counters artifacts, instants, and sorcery spells. We're actually all out of those at the moment, so maybe not the most scary for us, but... Dark Petition. Oh, I'm not going to like that. Doubled? This is probably going to get us. There's just nothing good that's coming from 2 tutors going off right now. And does he get mana back on it? Yeah, he gets mana back on it too. Yeah, nothing good coming from this. Grey Merchant is not currently the most threatening, unless they can blink it a few times. I guess the problem too is that even if they kill us, they need some... I don't know. It just depends on what they're going for. What I was going to say though is that, like, we're decently threatening, but so is the Isshin opponent. They're also very threatening, so he kind of needs to deal with both of us. We are in the Triangle of Death. I'm normally really good at these situations, but I don't know that we have the tools right now to get out of this. It kind of just depends on how these tutors go. Looks like an X-Spell. Nope, there's the Grey Merchant. Only 4. He goes back to 33, though. Just going to buy him time. It's going to buy him time to get his deck going. God, we really need to get that Sulphurous Vortex in, but just not the mana to make all the plays after our rocks got blown up. Just so hard. Single Rift on our hammer. Is this a wheel? It's a Rionia. That's not great, actually. Oh god, he's cast a few things this turn, hasn't he? Well, that might kill us. How many is X? X is 3. Yeah, I really do hate that card. This is going to kill us. Yeah, we're kind of in the... So, I want to take this moment to talk about, like, we're in the era of, like, certain cards just win the game, right? Like, the stuff in your deck doesn't even matter that much until you get to one of those cards that just wins the game. And Grey Merchant is that card for Reanimator decks. And I think that's the issue with this deck is that, I mean, so I like the deck overall. Actually, the deck is put together pretty well. The only thing I would change is I would add a little bit more to do at 6 and 7 mana. You have so much ramp in the deck, but there isn't that much to do other than cast Drakuseth. And if Drakuseth goes down a few times, you're going to be in for a world of hurt. So I would add an Inferno Titan. I'd probably add Balefire Dragon. And maybe 1 or 2 other things in that vein, just to have something else to go to. But I would also add a Crackle with Power as another way to finish the game, because opponents were like moderately low, and we could have just tapped out for a big X-Spell and killed them. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are what helps keep this channel going, and I really appreciate it. If you want to vote on which videos I play next, or if you want to get some good games of Spell Table going, be sure to check out my Patreon at the link below.